Welcome to Round by Round. This is your man, the Fight Doctor. Today we're going to get into something that has recently happened. It does have a lot to do with the sport of boxing. It has a lot to do with the sport of football. It has a lot to do with politics. It has a lot to do with human behavior. It has a lot to do with everything. We've lost a couple of people due to that emotional thing that can control us in that moment. We call it the moment that the gray area between the eyes is disconnected, and the process and time that it takes for you to gather your mind and get your thoughts together and process everything eliminates itself. And that's usually a sign that you're about to make a bad decision, or one that you don't want to live with the consequences. And sometimes you figure that out first. And unfortunately today, we're going to be mourning Earl Hayes and Stephanie Moseley, because they are no longer with us due to the fact that a situation got out of hand and blame was placed. And that's what the Fight Doctor is not going to get into, that part of it, because there's a much bigger issue in the fact that Floyd Mayweather Jr. had witnessed this on a phone. Is typical of what's happening in modern day times, how the drive and that attention, that we all seek it. Me, myself, people that surround me, you guys watching, we all deserve and want attention. This thing is a lot deeper, and there's a lot more layers to it than just a man getting upset with his wife and losing his marbles. It just happened as far as 3 months ago with two big names, which T.I. and Floyd Mayweather. T.I. didn't go off that ringer because he understands consequences and has learned. And that's what we all need to start paying attention to. We need to realize who we have surrounding us and the people that we choose to be in a relationship with, because these are the people who are going to influence us for the rest of our lives. And when you move down that lane and you're getting into permanent commitments, do you really know the person that you're with, or are you just decorating the person that you're with to become the person that you wish to have? Because we put up a mirage and we put up a facade of parading around with these hotties, so-called, where they don't fit with us no more than a female pair of stilettos fit on a male's foot. But we go ahead and roll with that punch anyway, because it looks good. It gives us attention. It gives us status, like a very nice car, like a huge bank account. You can look on Facebook, you can look on Instagram, and you can tell who has a large bank account, because people want to draw attention. People wish to be interesting. And that's what having money makes you. It doesn't make you any different when it comes down to who you are as a person than anyone, Mr. Broke or Mr. Super Rich. It just makes you interesting to the onlookers, those who are looking from the outside in and checking out your life with a fine-tooth comb, a magnifying glass, to see exactly what it is you're doing that they can do. Look at yourself. Right now, if you're affiliated with one person that is doing something pretty big, you want to make sure that you're in that person's eye, because you may just get that opportunity. Because opportunities is based upon your proximity, meaning where you're located and who you're located with. If you're hanging around four broke brothers, you're going to be the fifth. That's proximity. If you're hanging around Floyd Mayweather, there's a good chance that a lot of those crumbs are going to fall your way. Earl Hayes has created himself a mantra and was in the music business and had gotten to his pinnacle. When I say getting to your pinnacle, it's based upon what you are able to do and how far you go with it. A lot of people have no idea what they're going to do or what they're capable of doing. I have relatives, younger, of course, they have no idea where they are going in this present day time, the time of social media, the time that it's cool to have a career and be a professional and even go to school. And now these are the things that we are somewhat blind to the eye. These are the things that are not being said. It's happening on a constant basis right in front of us, but we continue to avoid it. You avoid your issues. You may take some on, but I avoid some things. But I try to make sure every day I wake up with the focus of attacking the majority of everything. There's no perfect people. And for Earl Hayes, he's not a perfect person, or he wasn't a perfect person. He made mistakes. So did his wife. I'm not saying she did what he accused her of, but what is prominent in that situation is there are no perfect people. So you can point to every single person and say that about. There are no perfect people. And it's a sad situation. And speculation is going to hurt. What she's leaving behind is speculation that she slept with someone else. Well, let me tell you something about being in a relationship or having an opportunity to better yourself. Sometimes you're in a situation that's not building you up. Sometimes you're in a relationship or a situation that's tearing you down. And when people step outside of a relationship, it's not to hurt the other person, but sometimes it's to better themselves as far as situation and proximity. Let me segue back to that conversation. Proximity is everything these days. You are focused on who you are friending on Facebook. You are focused on who you are partnering and following on Instagram and Twitter. The reason why you're doing that is because maybe you don't live near them. Maybe you don't hang with them. But you can darn sure follow and be in the network and say, hey, I'm friends with them on Facebook. That's a form of status. A person has to accept you on Facebook. So at least that's one layer that you've been accepted on, someone that's in a pinnacle. And it may rub off on you. Correct me if I'm wrong. But there's not a very good chance that I'm mistaken in this situation, because people, whether it's female or male, they take an opportunity to better themselves. That's human nature. So why would this be looked at as so wrong? Because we all wake up in the morning, we have an agenda. Some of you have a job that you don't like and you have to go to it anyway. Why? Because you want to better yourself somehow, some way, and that is a thread of hope. Most people have a situation that they cannot get themselves out of, and they don't have the answer. And sometimes there's a delivery person that comes into your life and gives you an opportunity to change things. Because if you want things to change, you must change things. Relationships are funny. Go to your mate, go to your partner, even a close friend, and ask them an intimate question. If you had an opportunity, would you step outside of this relationship? They can give you an answer, or you don't want to know the answer. And that's why you don't ask, and that's why these things happen, because people don't want to know what's inside. Do you think Manny Pacquiao goes to his wife and asks her, does she want to step outside of the relationship? Do you think anybody's asking their partner? Why? Because you really don't want to know. So when it happens, nothing but flames and fire jumps off. I tell you this, let's start to become honest with one another. You, the one that's watching this, don't stop it, because I'm about to drop something on you that you need to really do to check yourself and check the people that you surround yourself with, so you can really find out who's down with you and why are you with them. Because you need to answer that question first. Why are you with them and why are they with you? That's your question to them. And when you find that out, you can move forward. But you have to be willing to find out. You have to know the source in order to get the answers. So find that out, because there's one thing and there's one takeaway, that these guys are going to have a new life. The people that are family to these people who've lost their lives are mourning in a way today that we cannot imagine unless you've lost someone close to you, because I've lost someone very close to me. I know what it feels like. And it's dark. It gets dark. And the fact that Floyd Mayweather was brought into that, you know, some may see it as a selfish act by EARL to call and do that, or he was so caught up in the moment that he could not release himself. And he really has love for Floyd to reach out. But Floyd couldn't even stop him at that moment. And to move forward today, no one could imagine what Floyd's going through. No one could imagine what anyone would be going through at this time. But like I said, this all segues into know who you're surrounding yourself with and know who you're partnering with. Have honest conversations, because you may not be in the right situation and it may drive you to do something heinous, because this was a heinous crime and it's contagious. Because if you watch social media daily or the news, something's crazy happening all the time. Take this with you guys, because I have love for what I do, and that's why I share my moments with you. Have this in your life and make this your day to find out who's surrounding you. And know this, that I'd much rather you hate me for who I am than love me for who I'm not. They call me the Fight Doctor. And I thank you guys for watching. Because you're watching Master Boxing. And this is where we break the fight world down, baby. Round by round.